Okay, so let's just start with it. When you will be provided the material to upload the course outline or your ZABDESK, the first thing that will be provided to you will be a file like this. This is basically a course syllabus file. So suppose in this case taking the sample of the course of artificial intelligence and computer vision. So this is a file, syllabus file for it. In this syllabus file, we have certain information written about it, like what's the course code, course name, credit hours, the prerequisite, mode of teaching, course description, course objectives, learning outcomes, topics, textbook, reference book. This is some of the set of information which is actually provided in this course syllabus file. So this will be your fundamental file over which you will first use this file to generate the course outline. Okay. uh, Before moving over to how to generate the course outline, let's first discuss a little about important things in it. For example, course description is written over here, so you can directly copy paste the course description from here into your course outline. Of course objectives is also written over here. You can directly copy paste the course objectives from here into your course outline. Then you'll have the learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are written here in the form, in a tabular form. You might not have to write it in the tabular form, but you can write it there in the ZABDESK. The learning outcomes, exactly copy paste this thing into your ZABDESK for learning outcomes, course learning outcomes. Like for example, in this case, here we have three course learning outcomes. So we have CLO1, CLO2, and CLO3. That's the statement of those CLOs. And then it's written that what kind of domain they relate to. We have basically three domains. We have cognitive, we have psychomotor, we have affective domain. So again, this is something that you do not have to do anything with it. It's already pre-decided and pre set and has been provided to you. You just need to know that what domains are there against each CLO. So, for example, in this case, the my all three CLOs are cognitive domain, and taxonomy level is here. One case is 3, other case is 6, and the third CLO is 2. So I have C3, C6, and C2. Then each CLO is corresponding to one PLO. PLO is program learning outcome. So here in this case, I have PLO2 is linked with CLO1, and PLO5 is linked with CLO2, and PLO8 is linked with CLO3. Now the point is that why do you need this thing? You need this thing. It's very important because when you will be assessing the students, the assessment could be in the form of the exams, like mid exam, final exam. You can have assignments, projects, whatever it is. Each assessment should correspond to one of the CLO. So that means when you have to grade the student out of 100 marks, so CLO1 will have some marks out of those 100, CLO2 will have some marks out of 100, and CLO3 will have some marks out of 100. And if I add the marks of CLO1, CLO2, and CLO3 all together, that should make up to be 100. So for example, I'm give you the example here. This is the midterm exam that I made for this course. Okay. Now, if you look here in this midterm exam, this is a midterm exam. If you look in this midterm exam, so I am giving students three questions. Sorry, four questions. Question number one, question two, question 3, and question 4. Against each question, I'm mentioning that, like for example, question 1, it is related to CLO1, cognitive level 2, PLO1. That's 4 marks. Okay, then question 2 is CLO2, C3, PLO2. Question number 3, it's C3, CLO3, C4, PLO5. Question 4, it's CLO3, C4, PLO5. Okay, so this is very important because in the end, when you're going to make your outcome based education sheet, OBE sheet, then in that sheet you have to mention, and in the end you have to check whether the student have passed all the CLOs and passed all the PLOs or not. So that's only possible if you have already preset within your exams, within your assessments, that what question relate to what CLO and what PLOs. So this is important. That's why this information was important to explain first. Okay, so let's move here. Okay, so we have these learning outcomes, then we have the topics here. It's not necessary that you exactly follow the same topic regime as mentioned here, but at least 60, 70 to 80% the regime should be the same. And then there's a textbook and reference book mentioned. Again, that is not necessary that you follow the exactly the same textbook and the reference book as is mentioned here, but whatever the reference book you are following or textbook you are following, you have to then mention that in your course outline. So this is the syllabus file that will be provided to you. Okay, now using this file, what you need to do is you need to first prepare a course outline file. This is your course outline file, which this is the course outline file for this course which have been prepared. So first you have to write like which semester, which semester year it is. Okay, what is the class name? Okay, what's the course code, instructor name, okay, when it is being taught. And how do you know all these things? Because the schedule is already provided to you. Within the schedule, it's all mentioned that what is the course code, course name, what days it will be taught, what will be the timing of the course. Okay, so it's 3 credit hours that you can also see from the syllabus file. Course prerequisite, if there was anything, would be mentioned in the syllabus file as well. You have to write it exactly the same. Consultation time. Suppose if you are visiting faculty, if you are permanent faculty, obviously you already have an office, and so you have to provide a consultation time for the students related to the course. But suppose if you are not a permanent faculty and you're a visiting faculty, then you don't have any office space, but still you have to provide a consultation time. Most probably provide the consultation time after your class for 1 hour or before your class for 1 hour. Okay, so you can write here like for example in 100 building, just don't need to mention any room. And it's not necessary that you always provide the consultation to the students, but it's always necessary to write down a consultation time whether you provide it or not. Email has to be written, contact number, if it's better if you write the contact number, but in case if you don't want to write it, then you can keep this empty. Course description, exactly copy paste from the syllabus file. Course objective, exactly copy paste from the syllabus file. Learning outcomes, again copy paste from the syllabus file. Look here, I've written against each CLO, each learning outcome, that what CLO it is, what cognitive level, what cognitive or effective. If it is effective, then instead of C it will be A. If it is psychomotor, then instead of C it will be P. So what level it is and what is the program learning outcome for this CLO. So I have to mention that. And then after that, teaching learning methodology, you can keep it the same. Material supplies, you can change it if you want. Expected class conduct, again you can change it as you like. Then the most important thing is the course plan. In course plans, it's week wise plan. So you can see here there are 17 weeks. So for each faculty, he has to mention that what he is about to do in those 17 weeks. Okay. So for example, here I have provided a textbook. I have selected a textbook for this course, and most of the material of the syllabus of this course is from this textbook. And so I'm mentioning here that what chapters correspondingly are there from this textbook. Okay, and then what topics am I covering each week. Okay, and then I also need to write that when are my assessments due. Okay, so for example here, you can see here this marks distribution. I'm putting here midterm 1, obviously midterm will be 1, and that I'm putting here 20 marks. Okay, for the midterm, once again try to know that the midterm should be between 20 to 30 marks. Okay, you can put midterm 20 marks, 25 marks, 30 marks, but not less than 20 marks. And final exam is from 35 to 50 marks, so it should not be less than 35 marks and should not be more than 50 marks, the final exam. Assignment, it's all up to you how many assignments you want to give and what should be the frequency and the marks of those assignments. Similarly, quizzes if you want to give. And these are not just all, you can also put presentations, you can also put any projects. There are many options there available when you're going to go into uploading the course outline. You're going to see, so it's up to you that which of the assessment methodology you want to choose to assess the students. So then here, when you're specifying the course plan, you have to mention that which assessment will come at what time. So for example, I'm telling that in week 5 I will take quiz 1, then week 8 we'll have the midterm paper, then week 11 I will take quiz 2, then week 15 I will take the assignment which I would be asking the students, which I will be giving the students every week, but I will ask them to submit their final assignment by week 15. Week 16, I'll take quiz 3, and week 17 will be the final exam. So these marks are also mentioned for each assessment. So if I just add them up total, that will be 100. So this is basically the course outline file. So once you have prepared the course outline file, now it's time that you can start placing up uploading the material on the internet. Okay, the next thing is that what we need to do is we need to open the ZABDESK. So here, this is the spring semester. So I'm writing here spring zabdesk.zabis.edu.pk. If it was fall semester, then I would write instead of spring FALL fall. If it was a summer semester, I would write instead of spring summer SUMMER. So that's the website address. Once you write that, this window will open. Now you have to put your user ID, which would already have been provided to you to your email. For example, in this case, I'm going to put my user ID. Then I'm going to put my password. Okay, and then I'm going to log in. So when I'm going to log in, since I'm also the program manager, so there are some other folders which are appearing in front of me, but for you, it will be appearing faculty. So you're going to go into the folder of faculty, and then you're going to see the courses which are there, uh, which are registered on your name. So right now, for example, I'm going to place the course outline for the course of Artificial Intelligence and Computer Vision ME4721. It's basically BME150A. So since it's an elective course, so that's a code for an elective course. So I'm going to just click this. So when I'm going to click this, the window is going to open for me. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and you can find, yes, you can find here faculty course outline at this point. So just click on the faculty course outline, and now since you have already developed the course outline file, okay, so this is the course outline file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy and paste the material from this file into the on the web. So here it's mentioned, it's already mentioned this my name, the semester is spring 2024, class is mentioned, course name is mentioned, instructor is mentioned. Okay, time of the course is from 18:30 till 21:30. So I'm actually taking this course at the night time. So whatever the time here, you have to put it. Okay. Then the classroom, it will be building 100 lab 5. So I'm gonna take from here and copy from this position and just paste here. The building 100 lab 5. Okay, session days, in my case it will be, I will be taking this class on Wednesdays. It's already mentioned Wednesday. Okay, credit hour, it's a 3 credit hour course. Lab hours are 0. There are no lab hours for this course. It's just 3 credit hour course. Okay, course prerequisite is already mentioned. That there is no course prerequisite for this. Consultation time. Okay, consultation time. It will be Thursday from 12 to 14, building 100. That will be okay with me. So I'm going to just copy this and then paste it there. That will be consultation time. And then the email. just copy this and then place it in the position of email. Okay. Course description, course objectives, learning outcomes, all I have to just copy paste from the main file. Okay. So let me just open it side by side. So can so that I can work easily on it. So it's now open side by side. Okay. So course description. Course description, I'm just going to again copy the whole and paste. Course objectives. Copy, paste. Course learning outcomes. Copy, paste. You can see everything. Yes, everything seems fine. Okay, since I have already uh, completed the first step of my course outline, so I'm just going to submit it. Okay. Domain name of the email does not seem valid. Let me just remove the this. Now send it again. Now it is sent. There was a comma here which it was not recognizing. So now I move towards the next step. The next step is recommended books. Okay. So recommended books. First, I'm going to okay, this copy paste. So I have this title: Artificial Intelligence Model Approach. Copy and paste. Authors are this by Russell Norwick. Copy, paste. Edition. I'm using the third edition here, so I can just take that. And it is Princeton Hall. Copy, paste. Year to publish. I don't need to write here. I'll just add it. So that's the textbook that I have added. Okay. Then I can put the other books as my reference books. So I can add a reference book. Textbook will always be one, but the reference books can be many, depending upon what you want to place. So I'm going to put this second book, Understanding Artificial Intelligence, as the reference book. Okay. This is by Hank Miskoff. Copy, paste. Edition, it's the fourth edition that we'll be using. Publisher is Sam's Technical Publishing. Okay, here again I'm going to say not available. Add. Then the other next reference book I'm going to add is Artificial Intelligence Structures and Strategies for Complex Problem Solving. Copy, paste. This is by G.F. Luger. Copy, paste. Edition is third edition that I'll be using. Publisher is Pearson. Copy, paste here again, not available, add. So I think I'm done here. At this point, recommended books already done. I'm going to move towards the next step. Now, in the next step, ask that, okay, what kind of assessments do I need to place or put in it? Okay, so that's this part. I'm putting assignments. So let me just look at the assignments. Here it is, assignment. Okay, so first is total frequency and then marks per frequency. So assignment I'm going to put here as 1 and marks per frequency is 10. Then the next thing I'm going to put, obviously there will be final paper. Final paper will be 1 and marks of the final paper will be 40 as my marks distribution scheme. Then quizzes. So I'm going to take 3 quizzes and 10 marks for each quiz. And the last thing is the midterm paper. I'm going to take 1 midterm paper and the frequency and the marks per frequency will be 20. So that's it. I'm going to submit here. So it's going to show me that yes, total number of marks that I'm getting is 100. That's fine here at this point. So I can just save it. Okay. So now I move towards the last step of the course outline where I have to place the course plan. Okay. So since I've already written everything, I can just take it from here and copy paste. So chapter 1, 2. So introduction to artificial intelligence. Then this is chapter 3. Search domain. Then we have next week. Then we have next to next week. So let me just quickly copy paste everything. Okay. Okay. Here, when we are putting up the course outline, it's always till 15 weeks only. But when we will be uploading uh, the lecture progress, we can actually put more lectures more than 15. So I'm also just going to copy this thing here at the 15th part. You can write here syntax and semantics. Okay. So here, this is chapter. Let's copy. So let me just first copy this all in here. So I can now look here. This was chapter number 3. Then this is chapter 5. Then we have this one, chapter 4, chapter number 6, chapter number 7. Then we have chapter number 8 and 9. Then I have this mid exam. That's actually midterm. Chapter number 13, chapter number 14 to 15, chapter number 18, chapter 21, and again chapter 18, chapter 24, and I'm going to write here as 22 to 23. Okay, regarding the assessments, I'm going to put here as the final paper. The before final paper, I'm going to here quiz 3. Then I'm going to put here assignment. Okay, so at the first number, 5th week, we're going to put quiz 1. Then they have this midterm, this point, and quiz 2 is at 11. So I have placed all. Okay, so now just submit it. Okay, it asks for teaching and learning methodology. I can copy paste from here. Add the teaching learning methodology. Copy, paste. Then material supplies. Paste and expected class conduct. Copy, paste. So everything here done. Let's post it. So now once I have posted it, it's written success. That means my course outline has been successfully posted. I can see my course outline if I just click here, faculty course outline. So everything which I have actually placed is in here. Okay, so my lectures, course plan, textbook, marks distribution, everything. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that once I'm going to take the first lecture, so I'm going to go into the faculty lecture progress. Okay, in the faculty lecture progress, it will already be coming. Okay, I'm just going to select the date because my first lecture was actually done on the 14th of February. Okay, the timing was right. That was the topic that I covered. It's already held, so I'm going to submit it. So once I'm going to submit it, once I again click faculty lecture progress, I can see that this was already done. So every time when I take the lecture, I have to put it in the faculty lecture progress. And then after that, once I have placed it in the faculty lecture progress, then I'm going to go into the course lecture attendance. Once I go into the course lecture attendance, since I have already placed the progress of the first lecture, so for the first lecture, the students are coming. The first thing is that I can do present all, and then if whatever the students I know that they missed the class, I can individually put them absent. Late, if they came like half an hour late, then you can put late. Or if they provided any excuse, but the excuse has to come from the program manager. Just the students cannot directly provide excuse to the faculty, so they have to give the excuse to the program manager, and then the program manager is going to email it to the faculty, and then the faculty can place an excuse for the student. So here in that case, in my case, all the students were present on the first day, so I'm going to post it, and so the attendance has been saved. And so this thing that every faculty have to do every time they take the lecture, they have to put in the faculty lecture progress, and then once they have already put the faculty lecture progress, then they have to put the lecture attendance. Okay, so look here, once you're already done at this point, Then suppose you take the first quiz or the second quiz, or you take the mid exam, or you already took the assignments, you grade the assignments already. So then what you need to do is that you need to go into the course recap sheet. In the course recap sheet, there are different options. So for example, if I want to submit the marks of the quiz, so I'm going to select the quiz and I'm going to submit, click on submit. Now it's already, I had mentioned that quiz 1 will be 10 marks, so I have to individually place the marks of the students. Now, what I prefer is that don't put the marks of the student initially into ZABDESK before showing it off to the students, because the students might come back to you, and you might, after discussion with the student, you might need to change the marks of the student. So if you have already placed it onto the ZABDESK, then you have to go back to the program manager to allow you change the marks, because once you have placed on the ZABDESK, you cannot change it yourself. So I would say that initially discuss with the students the marks for any assessment, and then when you are okay along with your students that what should be the marks, then you place it on the ZAPTEX, so that you don't need to make the effort of changing the marks from the ZAPDESK all the time. So this is just once you have already taken, and you can view the recap sheet. So in the recap, when you view the recap sheet, it's going to come that okay, what marks you have already placed, and what are the total marks the students are getting. And regarding the grading plan for all the students are coming here. So you can actually see that if the student is falling into the category of A plus or A minus, or B plus, B minus, correspondingly what will be the GPA of the student. So that's the marks distribution. Okay. Make sure that even you have a very good student and you think that he was like 100%, you cannot give marks 100 out of 100. You can give marks maximum 99 out of 100, but don't give marks 100 out of 100, because it's going to generate a red flag into the system. You don't want to generate red flags into the system. Okay. So this is one exception. Okay. Then this is already done. Okay. Once you are already done and okay, in the recap sheet, remember one thing: the last thing that you have to put is the final paper marks. Do not put the final paper marks before, because once you are done with the final paper marks and you submit, then everything becomes locked. You cannot change anything at all. Your recap is then submitted. So you cannot do that until unless you have already finalized all other marks for all the other assessments. Okay, so the final paper mark should always be in the last. You cannot place the final paper marks before. Okay, so the last thing would be the final paper mark. Okay, so that is an important thing. Okay, then once you have already done with your recap sheet, and suppose you have all placed all the assessment marks and all the students grade has been put and the students grades has been posted. Okay, next thing is that you have to submit the PLO sheet. In the PLO sheet, uh, whatever the PLOs were there, so in this case I had PLO 1, PLO 2, PLO 5, PLO 8. So these are the PLOs. We have to check whether the student have passed that PLO or not passed. Okay, so that you has to be placed. So how to know whether the student have passed any specific PLO or specific CLO? For this, the OB sheet is the next that we are going to learn, that we are going to see. Okay, the next thing is that we need to understand that every faculty have to make an OB sheet, outcome-based education sheet, and which is necessary because you have to, in at the end of the course, you have to uh, complete the faculty course review report. Now, this is the sample of course review report. This is the course review report for the same course from the previous semester. So here there is some information regarding the department, faculty, course code, title, session, credit value, level, which semester, prerequisite if there is any, name of the course instructor. Okay, then we have number of students registered, total number of contact hours. Okay, and then the assessment methods. We have like put three quizzes, two assignments, one mid, one final last semester. Then how many students got A plus, then how many A minus, and things like that. if there is any student withdrawn. Okay, so for the case of W, it's either withdrew from course or didn't appear in the final exam. So even if the student didn't appear in the final exam, he will not be considered as failed, rather will be considered as a withdrawn from the course. Okay, then we have to mention that the KPI was the key performance indicator for the CLOs is 60%. That has been set in our department. So for all the CLOs, what is the percentage of the students who attained CLO? So these values you cannot get until unless you make the OBE sheet. So OBE sheet is going to determine that what are these percentages that has been attained for each CLO. Then we have for the case of PLO as well. Okay, percent of students who have not achieved PLO, we have to mention that. Percent of students who have not achieved CLO, percent of students who have not achieved PLO 5. So uh, we do not know these percentages until and unless we make the OBE sheet. And if this value is above 50, then we have to mention the reason that what is the reason, and we have to mention that okay, what are the PLOs here. Uh, then we have to also mention the name of the students who have actually passed the course but did not clear the PLO. Okay, so those who have failed the course, obviously they're going to take the course again, so we don't need to put their name here because their PLO will be assessed again. But those who have passed the course but did not pass a specific PLO, then we have to mention the name of those students. Okay, and then we also have to mention that for the course evaluation score by the students, how much was that. Now there's one point very important here, that the faculty and the course evaluation starts from the fifth semester and it then continues till the end of the semester, and the students evaluate the faculty and the course as well, that how the faculty is teaching the course and how was the course designed. And their evaluation is very important. It's being read by the president as well as by the vice president and VP academics, everybody. So all the higher administration looks at how students are evaluating for uh, about this course. So we have to keep that in mind, that we need to make sure that uh, our teaching and our dealing with the students should be such that our evaluation does not go bad. Then if there are any comments about how to revise the curriculum, if there are any guidelines, we can place that guidelines, and then at the end, that's it. The date of this course review report complete. So the important thing is that you cannot complete the course review report until unless you know that what is the percentage of students who have passed the CLOs and how many students have failed the PLOs. So this is an important information that you cannot get until unless you make the OB sheet. So now I'm going to move towards the OB sheet to explain that how it is done. So for example, in this case we have I took one quiz and then one assignment, and then I have yeah. Then I have midterm exam. For midterm exam, were four questions: question one, two, three, and four. Then I have quiz two, assignment two, quiz three, final exam question one, two, three, four, five. Okay, now each of them corresponds to a specific CLO. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that for the case of CLO1, I'm going to combine everything which was related to CLO1. The CLO1, I'm going to combine it was quiz 1 was from CLO1, in midterm exam question 1 was CLO1, final exam question 1 was CLO1. So that makes up a total of 22 marks for CLO1. Now, individually, I'm going to see that how much students have got in that specific CLO. Okay, and if the achievement, because the KPI for an individual CLO is 50%. Okay, so if, for example, 50% of the marks have been achieved by the students, we will say that the CLO has been achieved. If it is less than 50%, we will say that CLO is not achieved. Okay, so for example, you can see for this student, Muhammad Huzafa Ghafoor, and the total marks were for this CLO was 22 and he achieved 10 marks. So the CLO was not achieved because 50% is 11 marks. So that's basically that one student who failed the CLO. So in this way, we're going to find out that how many students passed and how many students failed. In the end, we're going to write here that out of the total number of students, how many achieved the CLOs, how many did not achieve the CLO. So what is the percentage of those achieved and what's the percentage of not achieved? Okay, and this way we can make a small graph of it. Okay, I'm going to provide you the template or the sample for this OB sheet, so you can use that to make your own. Similarly, for the case of CLO2, it will be like this, and we'll have that how many students who have achieved CLO2 and how many who have not achieved CLO. Okay, so and in the same way we will have for CLO3 and how many CLO, whatever be the number of CLOs you have to make it for that for all. Then each CLO is related to a PLO. Okay, so in each CLO is related to a PLO. So in the end, what you need to do is you need to combine. Um, you need to find out for the for each PLO. So for example, PLO1 for related to CLO1, PLO2 PLO2 was related to CLO2, and PLO5 was related to CLO3. So correspondingly, you can see that which students have passed the CLO and which have. So for example, this is a student, Zafar Ghafoor, he passed the course, but he failed PLO1. Okay, so that's why his name is highlighted. If the student had failed the course or withdrawn from the course, then his name is eliminated from the PLO assessment. So he will get NA, not applicable, because he failed the course or he did not give the final exam. He withdraw from the course. So that will be his PLO will not be assessed. So that will be NA, not applicable for that student. This is only for the case of the PLO, but for the CLO, if he pass, if he fail, it won't go into not applicable in any case. So here, also in this case, in the end, we have the summary that for PLO1, how many students achieved that PLO, percentage of achievement. Okay, so for PLO1, how many achieved, how many not achieved, PLO2, how many achieved, how many not achieved, PLO3, how many achieved, how many not achieved. So this way, this OB sheet is going to be developed for the course by both the permanent as well as by the visiting faculty.